October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the international campaign to raise awareness of the disease and to encourage screening, and also to reduce the stigma about breast cancer and talking about it and treatment. One prominent Israeli performance artist now gracing the cover of Laisha magazine, showing off her scars proudly after a double mastectomy and explaining her decision not to have reconstructive surgery. With me now is Eylon Nuphar, performing artist and social media influencer, alongside Karina Stotland, who is the editor-in-chief of Laisha magazine, which means the women magazine in Hebrew. I want to start with you, Eylon. Tell me about how you found out, how you learned you had breast cancer, and why you decided on a double mastectomy.
Well, I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 33. And then I learned that I have this gene, the BRCA1. So ever since then, I've been healthy. And I just go to my routine checkup, which is an MRI once a year and a mammogram every 6 months. And I did it this year, and they found something. And I was very lucky that I was doing it and that we found it on time.
Tell me about the decision after a double mastectomy to pose proudly with your scars in something as public as a magazine cover. Why did you want to do that?
I think it's always been part of me as an artist. I always want to share, and I think I treat myself as a piece of art, as I think all of us should. And it was easy for me to want to do this for other women as well. It wasn't easy for me to decide to do a double mastectomy. I didn't have to do it also. I had breast cancer on my right side, and I was actually told that I could treat my right side and I do not need to treat my other side. But I felt that I had a calling and I should just do it. And I really do not need my breasts in order to feel sexy or even healthy. And it was a hard decision. It took me around a month to decide. And the clock was ticking. And once I did it, I understood that I'm doing it not only for me, that I will wear my scars with joy, and I'd show the world that this is an option as well. Do you know that most women don't even know that going through reconstruction is, and especially when you have cancer, when your body is already sick, it's very dangerous. It's not an easy decision. It's an operation that can take between 8 to 10 hours. And then you still have to go through operations and renew whatever you need to do. It's a lifetime with the relationship with the hospital.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that.
I want to turn 1 second, Eylon, to Karina here. Why did you want to tell Eylon's story in your magazine? This is a front page cover. Tell me why this story is important to share.
First of all, you have all to admit it's a very powerful cover. When Eylon called me and suggested that she will pose on our cover breastless with wearing her scars bravely, as she said, I was amazed of how much courage she has. And second, I thought about the impact a cover like this can do to other women.
What message do you think other women will have when they see that cover and then they read the stories?
That there are a lot of options. You don't have to do the surgery, the reconstructive surgery afterwards, because you're beautiful also if you decide to stay like this, like Eylon did it. We don't usually see on different media platforms. We don't see breastless women. We don't see scars. We see it's not something common. And I thought that if we can show that Eylon is so beautiful without her breast and she's smiling from cheek to cheek, it is such an important message of the diversity of beauty and feminine.
Do you think
I'm so proud of her.
Women are pressured into having the reconstructive surgery, and is that pressure from family, from friends, or is it internal pressure that they feel like something is missing and they want to do whatever it takes to get it back?
I can't tell about all women. Maybe Eylon could know more. I know the Go Flat movement
is growing,
and you can see a step by step that also there are a lot of diversity. You can see also in Laisha a plus size. We put a plus size model on the cover of a swimsuit. We have to change the definitions of beauty. We must do it for all women.
Eylon, I know you talk about this in the Laisha story, but tell me about the decision. You said it wasn't easy because you could have treated just one breast, but you wanted to be aggressive and you wanted to kind of release your mind from the fear in the future, so you had the double mastectomy. Then there's another pressure on whether or not to have reconstructive surgery. What made you, what was in your mind was the final decision? How did you arrive at the decision?
To make a long story short, I didn't want to be aggressive with myself. It was the last thing I wanted to be. And I was afraid of that. And I was afraid of recovering time. And I was afraid that I'll lose movement and maybe the joy I had with my body as a dancer as well. But what made me decide that I can do it was really friends and family that supported me throughout me changing my mind every 2 seconds. I'd wake up one day like this, the other one. And at the end, I think I took 3 days off in nature and I said, come on, you can do it, girl. You're brave enough and you'll live happily ever after with this, hopefully with a good story at the end, and you'll share your story and you'll wear your scars. You know, I have stickers here and I decorate them. And I think it's not only about breast cancer. We go through so many changes. I mean, even women that go through giving birth and their body changes. Being a female is crazy. We change all the time, going through menopause. We have to be able to love ourselves as we are all the time and change it. And if I wasn't able to do that, so what kind of message was I to give myself as I was growing older?
Yeah.
And as a beautiful woman, like also, I know I will not always stay like this. I have to be able to let myself change with grace and compassion and do it as I know as an artist out there. And I thank Karina and the Laisha that really were brave enough to go with this impulse I had. Like I'm like 4 weeks after operation, come on, look, it looks wonderful. You've got to do a cover.
Yeah, and it's a great cover photo and a really powerful.
I have to say something interesting. We already made a story with Eylon, an inner story. Pictures were taken, the article was written, and it was about to be sent to print. And then she called me and said, you know what? I have an idea. Why don't we throw everything we did and we'll do it again, but I will show the scars and I will take picture breathless.
Yeah. And the results are there to see. Very powerful and inspiring story here. Eylon, Nuphar, and Karina, thank you both so much for being with us and sharing this story. Great to have you on the program.
Much.